Hiya, hiya. It's a dull day for news. There's no news today, so you can turn the set off. Nobody did anything wrong. I don't know. It goes like that. I'm just a teddy bear, and it's a bear market today, I'm told. Yeah, bear in my bank account, there isn't any money. So it's a bear in a bull market, right? This is the bear, and I'm full of bull. It's the way the market is. They call it a bear market, you know. And we got to take the bear by the put him over in his place. Oh yeah, this is my water. I put all my money in water. I decided no more. You know, I'm an alcoholic, so it's not about. I'm a waterholic now. Everything's about water. I just want to drink water because we're going to run out of it, and it's more precious than gasoline. I think you got to know that we're going to be in a crisis with water if we don't start to do something. Up in Colorado, it has to snow. The snow has to melt. It goes down through Arizona, goes down through California, and the water comes down to, well, and surprisingly, here's to you, or as they say in the Ukraine, Nostrovia. Yeah. So the water comes down. I worked in Colorado. I was at KOA in Denver on radio and television. It was a simulcast, just for your knowledge. And, you know, I put a sign in the men's room that said, please flush the toilet because California needs the water. And that's the way it is. You know, the water is going downhill. It comes from somewhere. In New York, it comes from Croton Dam. And that comes all the way down through many, many changes, filtrations of natural streams, ends up in Central Park, where it's not worth a damn to drink it. But the New York water, they say it's pure. It's just the cleanest water. But why do New Yorkers drink more bottled water? And when you go to a restaurant, you know, they want to give you the big $10 bottle. They say, "Oh, do you want bottled water? Would you like Pellegrino or Perrier, or would you like that regular hose job that we've been giving you?" This is the way it is with the water. Water is a very important product. I mentioned something about it yesterday, and I think I got a lot of response from people who thought that I was, well, they said I'm all wet in my theories, which is a bad pun. But, you know, I think that somewhere we have to come along with the idea that we're going to have some rain. It'll stop the fires, that's for sure, hopefully. And when we have the rain, see, the tricky thing in Florida is the hurricane season is based on the temperature of the water. See, when the water is warm in the Atlantic, then we're in trouble. First of all, the sharks can't stand it. They don't like that, and they go feeding somewhere else. And it's not healthy for sharks even. Well, just the money sharks, and there's plenty of those, which I have a solution for, incidentally, speaking of that, not to water this down, but I think we ought to have a return of the church. Then we'll have the nuns, and the nuns work free. They ran the hospitals, they ran all of the schools, and they ran the kids who ran their mouths off. Those kids wouldn't get away with nothing. We didn't. When we had nothing, I mean, not nothing. When we were kids, the nuns would come over and whack us. You know, we got whacked by nuns. They had the permission to do that. This is before all the lawyers got involved. See, the nuns whacked the little kids, and they grew up to be lawyers, and now they're whacking everybody with charging by the minutes. We got a guy here on television here that says, "I'm Bob. I'll buy your house." Yeah, well, get off my lawn, you. Never mind what I call him, but. The guy's on television telling you he's going to buy your house. How many of these houses is he going to buy? But that's a commercial for someone who is in that business of turnover. They turn over these houses, and they make a lot of money because they know how to play the game. See, I never learned about money. That's the problem. That's why I'm stuck with expensive water. Otherwise, if you've learned about money, you don't pay for water. You just go to the faucet and turn it on. I used to live in Calabasas, California. I was living next door to Farrah. Farrah Fawcett was a big movie star at the time. Charlie's Angels. If you're that old, you know who she is. She's a beautiful blonde. And I did a picture of her. Well, I did a picture of a fire hydrant with 2 spigots on it, and I said, this is a pair of Major faucets. Because she was married to Lee Majors. Do you remember that? Major faucets. Bad material here. So, maybe it is a no news day, isn't it? We are scraping. No, the water thing is a crisis in our country, but we have to go to another planet. And they're very happy. They sell water on Mars. Of course, it takes 7 years to get there, and it's a 40 billion mile trip, but we got water. You get there, you're going to be real thirsty. But this guy, Ken Griffin, who was the head of a hedge fund in Citadel, I think it's called, he went to a charity fundraiser for Robin Hood, which is an organization in New York that does good. And they had a twofer, like we do when we go to the supermarket. You buy one, get one free, which is really raising a price of one of them, is how that works. But this is another story. So he made a donation of $8 million, and that means that it's double that. And what he won was double that. He won a trip to outer space. Now the guy he's very smart, because he gave that away to a couple of educators. And they are going to go to outer space, and he will not take that risk. That's a bigger risk than the hedge fund. It's a bigger risk than having a bear market. When you have something like that, I mean, taking a chance going into outer space, I don't know that I'm ready to do that. What am I going to do there anyway? I'm always about my destination. If nobody goes to Disney to hang around the Epcot Center space station. I mean, you have to have a destination. You have to have something that you are your goal. What's your goal when you get into the spaceship? Just to go around and look down and say, "Oh, how pretty that is," or "I've never seen this before." Yeah, well, if that's your idea, just to have that travel to outer space, and you want to have Tang and Spam, those are two good foods for outer space. And you better wear your Depends. So you got a tough goal here. Why would you want to put on one of those suits and a couple of Depends and go up there and eat bad food? That's and look out and see what's going on. That would be. Hey, I rely on Google. Give me, if I want to see something bad, I'll just hang around an air flight over Buffalo. Then I'll look down there and I'll see all that I want to see. Hey, there's Niagara Falls. Yeah, that's nice. See, a lot of people think Niagara Falls is one of the wonders of the world, which it's not. There are 8 wonders of the world. Niagara Falls is just it's beautiful, wonderful, it's a phenom, but it is not one of the wonders of the world. I grew up in that neighborhood, and I'm here to tell you that the biggest thing in the Niagara Falls is to go under the falls. And there's a road on the Ontario side, which is Canada, for the Canadian falls. They call that the Horseshoe Falls. And you drive down on this little road, which is little known. I guess it's there for people with the power station. So I discovered it a long time ago. So when people come to visit me, and if I get into an argument with them, I take them down on that road, and it scares the bejesus out of them, because they're looking up and they're saying, speaking of water, wow. Someone looks up and they see that the waterfalls, they know they're. Hey, and the whirlpool, which is not a dryer or a washer. The whirlpool is a phenom in the middle of that Niagara stream that comes over after the falls, and down there is this water that goes round and round and round. The Lord knows what's inside of there. How many people have been whacked and thrown in there? But that would be another game for the Sopranos or one of the. They haven't done that in a movie yet. I wonder why they usually get rid of bodies by putting them in trunks and squeezing the car, like Goldfinger did that, I think. They have a lot of ways of getting rid of bodies. Mostly people who are killed are brain dead and live in Long Island. But this is the way it is. They put you in this whirlpool, and no one's going to see you ever again. And we don't know what the bottom of the whirlpool is. You probably end up in Chicago. But this is it. It's all about the water. And here's to you. Let me salute you. You better forget Diet Coke, which is very bad for you. And I'm a waterholic. You gotta get water. And don't forget that if you use water out of the faucet, the city will pay. Well, I mean, you have to pay for it. Nothing is free. There's no free rides here. I don't even go to a theme park anymore because I got to get on that water slide. I hate that. It's a Reynolds wrap, water wrap.